There is a moment every man knows, when the plan collapsed, when the thing he built fell apart, when he gave everything he had and it still was not enough. When getting back up feels pointless, because what is the point of standing again if the same thing is just going to knock you down? That moment is not the end. That moment is the test, and most men fail it. Not because they are weak, but because nobody ever taught them what to do when they hit the floor. Nobody told them that the floor is exactly where the real work begins. That the man who learns to move from his knees, slowly, painfully, without applause, without certainty, is building something that the man who never fell will never have. Martin Luther King Jr. understood this at a level most people will never be tested on. He did not speak about resilience from a place of comfort. He spoke about it from a place of bombs, death threats, government surveillance, and a cause that could have gotten him killed on any given day. And what he left behind is not just history, it is a standard for any man who has ever hit the floor and had to decide whether he gets back up. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. That is not inspiration. That is a law. Forward is the only direction that matters, and the speed is completely irrelevant. The man who crawls toward what he believes in will always cover more ground than the man who stands still waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel strong enough, waiting for the right moment, waiting for conditions that will never arrive on their own. Most men abandon their purpose the moment it becomes genuinely costly. They hold it when it feels good, when people agree, when the momentum is there and the path is clear. But the moment real resistance appears, the moment it starts costing them comfort or relationships or certainty, they quietly step back. They tell themselves they are being realistic. They tell themselves they will return to it when things settle down. Things do not settle down for men who wait for them to settle down. They keep moving for the men who move regardless. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Think about what that means for your life right now. Not for history, for the pressure you are under today, the decision you keep avoiding, the version of yourself you have not yet committed to becoming. Anyone can show up when the conditions are right. The real question, the one that defines everything, is who you are when it costs you something real. When showing up means walking into something difficult. When holding your standard means losing something you wanted to keep. Martin Luther King was monitored by his own government. His phones were tapped. His home was bombed while his wife and daughter were inside. He received death threats so frequently they became part of his daily life. He was stabbed, jailed, publicly condemned, and he kept going. Not because he was not afraid, but because he had decided, somewhere deep and unshakable, that his purpose was larger than his fear. That is not luck. That is not talent. That is a man who built his inner world so solid that the outside world could shake it, but never crack it. That kind of discipline does not come from passion alone. Passion fades. It runs on emotion, and emotion is unstable. What kept Martin Luther King moving was something far more durable. A set of principles he refused to abandon, even when abandoning them would have been easier, safer, and completely understandable. Nonviolence was not the path of least resistance. It was the hardest possible choice, made repeatedly, under conditions where retaliation would have felt justified to anyone watching. That is not weakness. That is the highest form of control a man can exercise over himself under the worst possible pressure. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. This is one of the most honest things ever said about what it takes to keep going. He is not telling you to pretend things are fine. He is not telling you to ignore the loss, the setback, the moment when everything you built did not hold. He is telling you to feel it completely, and then refuse to let it be the final word. Finite disappointment. The loss is real. The pain is real. Let it land. And then infinite hope, not blind optimism, not denial. The unshakable conviction that forward is still possible, that the work still matters, that who you are becoming is still worth becoming. Most men get this backwards. They minimize the pain so they do not have to feel it, and in doing so, they also cut off the hope, or they fall into the loss so completely that moving forward feels naive. Martin Luther King lived in the tension between both, fully honest about the cost, fully committed to the direction. That tension is not weakness. That is what real strength actually feels like from the inside. It is not comfortable. It is not clean, but it is unbreakable. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. This is not poetry. This is strategy. The man who responds to pressure with panic adds to the chaos. The man who responds to provocation with rage gives the fight to whoever provoked him. But the man who responds with clarity, who refuses to become what is pushing against him, who holds his standard even when lowering it would feel satisfying, that man controls the entire exchange. He chooses his response instead of surrendering it. And a man who chooses his response in the hardest moments is a man who cannot truly be defeated. Think about where this applies in your life right now. The room where someone is trying to provoke you. The relationship where reacting would be so easy. The moment where you could lower yourself to the level of what is in front of you, and you choose not to. That choice, made consistently, in the quiet moments no one ever sees, is what builds the kind of man Martin Luther King was. Not the speeches. The 10,000 private decisions that made the speeches possible. He was not born unshakable. He built it. In the early mornings before anyone was watching. In the moments of doubt he never put on display. In the discipline of returning to his purpose every single day, even when the cost of holding it was rising. The world saw the man at the podium. It did not see the man on his knees in the dark, deciding once again to get back up. That is where the real work happened. That is where it always happens. The world will always test what you are made of. It will send doubt and loss and opposition and moments that feel designed specifically to break the one thing you have decided to hold. Your job is not to avoid those moments. Your job is to have built something strong enough to meet them. Not to meet them without fear, but to meet them without breaking. To feel the full weight of what is pressing against you and remain standing anyway. So start where Martin Luther King started. Not with the movement, not with the crowd, not with the moment the world was watching. Start with yourself. With the private decision to keep moving when stopping would be justified. With the choice to hold your standard when lowering it would be easier. With the discipline to get up one more time from a floor that has seen you fall before. You do not need perfect conditions. You do not need certainty. You do not need to feel ready. You need direction and the refusal to stop moving toward it. If you cannot fly, run. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. The man who reaches the other side of his hardest moment unbroken is not the same man who entered it. He is stronger, clearer, more certain of who he is and what he will not surrender. That man is not built in the good times. He is built exactly where you are right now. Get up, keep moving, become that man. Always remember, if you can be anything in life, be a Stoic.